Good morning and welcome to day 5 of the Great Norfolk Broads Adventure 11. Oh dear. It's I don't know what's worse. Okay. I'm not actually hungover this morning, if I'm honest, right? I did wake up about 5 o'clock with a bit of a headache, but I got up, took a couple of paracetamols and went back to bed. And the sun has gone and the clouds have rolled back over. The wind's still, the breeze is still stiff, the temperature is still low, so it's quite cold. The boat was just a little bit icy last night when I stepped on it. But the real thing that's sort of shock and horroring me at the moment is I've only been up an hour and I've had one coffee and the time is currently about 11 o'clock, Let me just let that sink in a wee bit. I've only been up an hour and I've only had one cup of coffee and the time is currently 11 o'clock. That means that I woke up and got up out of my bed at 10 o'clock this morning. I was like, what the hell? Could not believe it. I was like, the whole morning has been wasted. I was like, when was the last time I slept until like 10 o'clock in the morning? I think I must have been blinking 8 years old or something like that, I was like, oh my god, I cannot believe it, But I think it was a measure of just how good a night we all had last night. It was fantastic. Stephen and Katie, they were such a lovely couple, so chatty and just chatty actually, Stephen was informative, but he's a bit like myself. He's a wee bit of a science fiction geek, so once I discovered this, the pair of us went totally off on a tangent, left the poor ladies sitting there just sort of staring at their drinks and we were like, whoa, straight on down, talking about lots of science fiction related things and yeah, I mean, it was like things got a bit geeky last night, yeah, and then the subject got on to Robin and the captain's blog and all that, and I just like, well, actually, I'll send him a wee message. It'll probably not be anything, it'll not come to anything, but I'll send him a wee message, invite him down to a line if he's up for it, and buy him a couple of pints and you can get to meet him, So I did that, and surprisingly, he was up for it. So he actually jumped in his car, came down to the Lion, had a pint, and a brilliant night was had by all. It was fantastic. And the poor lassie ended up chucking us out, literally chucking us out the Lion just after 11 o'clock, and yeah, back to the boat, had a cuppa. I think I did a dark side. I'm not sure though. You know what I'm like in the mornings. I don't really remember until I actually. What did I do a dark? Apparently I did a dark side last night. So God knows what the hell I said. I won't find out until I do the editing. What the hell I was saying. But yeah. Came back to the boat. Had a cup of coffee, and yeah. I mean, it was about back of 1, I think it was, this morning. Ended up going to bed, Absolutely fantastic night. Absolutely brilliant. Had a thoroughly good night, catching up with everybody. So yeah, I'm still surprised at how lacked of hangover I have. I mean, I did say I woke up about 5 o'clock with a wee bit of a headache, but Considering how much cider I was drinking last night, I expected to be just a little bit hungover and rather ill this morning. But I'm actually not too bad at all, actually. It's just a shock of actually sleeping so long and so late and just completely wasting the morning. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of a mad panic. Now I have to sort out exactly what we're going to do, get another coffee on the go, get ready, get the boat all sort of, you know, all the engine checks and all that. And basically get the day started, like now. And I'm kind of thinking I've got two choices, okay? I mean, what is this? This is Wednesday, isn't it? This is Wednesday,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah. So, the choices are, do we do a long cruise or a short cruise? We've already decided that we can't go up to Potter Heigham, you know. We did think about going up to, well, the original plan, you know, yesterday when we were coming back down the River Thurn after failing to get in there, is maybe get up this morning and go up there for low water. And that way I might get safely in at the key headings in low water. But obviously 11 o'clock now, low water was 8:30 this morning, so the water's on the way back up, so yeah, I think we've missed that opportunity. Typical. But in theory, what we could do is we could have a very short cruise, maybe about an hour, and go down to Stokesby at the ferry inn, spend the night there, where the day's obviously starting quite late, so we could probably do that, and then tomorrow morning actually make a point of getting at them and getting back up to Potter Heigham, you know, for low water, if you like, and taking a look and seeing if we can get in the mornings. We've got that choice. The other choice is maybe go to Wroxham. I'm not sure where I can moor at Wroxham though, and any place, you know, because I mean the free moorings on the other side of the bridge, and with the water levels I might be able to get under, but I've never been under Wroxham Bridge. I would love to go under Wroxham Bridge, but do I really want my first time going under Wroxham Bridge on my own in this boat? The Thunder Syndicate does have an agreement with the bridge pilot, so in theory, you know, I could, you know, but I don't know if the bridge pilot's on call, so to speak, at this time of year, so I'm really not sure. I might ask a few questions on the WhatsApp Thunder group just to find out about that. But that is certainly an option. We could go to Wroxham. That would maybe be about a couple hours up to Wroxham. Go under the bridge. I can maybe moor at the free moorings. We can go for a wee wander, and then further on up the river to Coastal, which I've never been in. There's supposed to be some stunning places up there. Or we could go back up the River Ant to Sutton, you know, and the Sutton State Hotel, there's nothing wrong with it. Last time I was there, it was a pleasant enough dinner, you know. Obviously it's not in quite the same league as the White Horse Lion or Acle, but it was, like I say, pleasant enough, so we could do that. And that would certainly be, that would probably take us about, well, how long did it take us yesterday? It took us about, what, 2 hours from Nettie's Head to get down here, didn't it?
About
So it'd probably be about 3 hours, you know, to get up to Sutton. And this is the thing, is that it's going to be knocking on 12 o'clock by the time we leave. 3 hours, you know, it's gonna start getting that dullness again that we had the other day when we left Ranworth very early, very late, I should say. I mean, I don't think sunset is until about like 5, half 5 or something like that, you know, so we'll still be up there before sunset, but it'll be a lot later in the afternoon. So yeah, I mean, it's all sort of it's all a wee bit up in the air. I just don't quite know what I want to do or where I want to go. I could have a very short cruise down to Stokesby or even Acle. Go back to the Bridge Inn. Acle? Bridge Inn? Hot chocolate?
Is that the one we went the first time?
Yeah, first night. But once again, Acle, from here, Acle's only like 45 minutes away, you know. So it's like going down to Acle would be an incredibly short cruise. I could, and for all intents and purposes, I could. It would be that short. I could switch the GoPros on, leave them running, and by the time the battery ran out, I would be there. So yeah, I mean, that would be like an uber short cruise, you know. And I really don't know what I want to do. If I want to have just you know, considering how late we've got up and how lazy a start to the day is, are we just going to have like a pure just sort of relaxation, just basically down to Acle, have another nice meal, you know, hook up to the electricity, and just basically just chill and relax, and not really do much or go much, not really do much at all today, and just basically vegetate, you know. I know if I go to Acle, we're gonna have a good dinner down there. They've got some good beers. It would be great to catch up with Philip again, and yeah, just basically go down there and just sort of, you know, I quite like the idea of going to Stokesby because it's been ages since I've been at the Ferry Inn, but I do know that Rachel really enjoyed the dinner at Acle, and more importantly, because she's a hot chocolate connoisseur on this journey, it was her favourite hot chocolate down at Acle. So yeah, maybe we could just do Acle, and we would be just that little bit closer if we decided to do Potter Heigham first thing tomorrow morning. But it wouldn't be a late night. We would have to get because we'd have to get a move on first thing in the morning. But yeah, there is that possibility. So yeah, in short, I've no idea what's going to happen. We're either going to have the shortest cruise ever, or we'll have a nice long cruise up the River Ant and just sort of see where the day takes us. Actually, now see, there's a thought actually. Just thinking about that, okay? If we have a really short cruise today down to Acle, Thursday would be make a point of getting up first thing in the morning, getting our stuff sorted, up to Potter Heigham, try to get up there for low water. Hopefully water levels will be sufficiently low that I'll feel comfortable tying up to the moorings there, nip into Latham's, have a wee wander, and then because we'd be up there sort of and done our little sort of Latham look, you know, get some cakes, you know, that would all be done by mid-morning, you know. So then we could then jump in the boat and then cruise back down and then back up the River Ant to Sutton and spend Thursday night up at Sutton, and that way we've had a long day, broke up a little bit, but lots of cruising, and yeah, and then that way on Friday it's just a matter of down the river and maybe back to the. Well, on Friday night we're going to be spending either the night at Ranworth or maybe outside the Swan in Horning. Not quite sure exactly where we're going to end up on Friday, but we need to end up round about that area, you know. So that is actually an idea. It means that unfortunately Rachel doesn't really see much of Sow House, you know, and the Fur and Feathers and the rocks and some of the beautiful houses there, you know, or anything like that. But she does get to see much more of the River Ant, which is a lovely river, and she gets short cruises and long cruises and hopefully a good day, you know. So yeah, now that's not plans, you know. It'll probably all change. It's just an idea, you know, that kind of sort of works a wee bit, you know. So yeah. Anyway, I'm babbling, you know. I'm just thinking things up on the go, which is what I usually do, you know. But you know what I'm like, you know. I'll come out here, I'll turn left, I'll go down to the bottom of the River Thurn, and it'll be like, okay, straight on down to Acle, turn right towards St Benet's Abbey. Which am I going to do? I said I was going to go straight on. I'm going to go straight on. I'm going to go to Stokesby. I'm going to go to Stokesby. Oh, okay. We'll go to Ranworth then. One place I'm not even talking about going back to. You know. So yeah, I have no idea what's going to happen. We'll just wait and see. You know. But as always, whether it's going to be a very short day or a bit of a longer day, I will keep you updated, keep you informed on the events of the day. So yeah, day 5 is going to be a bit of a short, bit of a lazy, sort of uneventful day, I think, today. We are really taking things easy today, I think, on day 5. So but yeah, as always though, I'll keep you updated. So until later, I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now. Cheers. Okay, just a little wee update for you. That is us on our way. We have just left Van Dyke, we have turned left, we have a destination in mind and we have a plan. That's right, we have a plan. Whether it actually comes to fruition and works or not, I don't know. But we have a plan anyway. So we're gonna see how it sort of develops over the next 24 hours or so. Basically, after the heavy night in the Lion, after the copious amounts of cider that was consumed last night, and after the hot chocolate, which kind of knocked Rachel out quite a wee bit, the fact that for some obscure unknown reason, which is beyond me, we've ended up having a majorly lazy start to the day today. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue to have a majorly lazy day. I think today will be pretty much nothing. We are not going to be doing much of anything at all today. So it's going to be a dull, boring, uneventful, rubbish vlogging day, if you like. We're going to take basically a very, very, very short cruise down to Acle. We did think about maybe going to Stokesby and trying the ferry in. It's been a wee while since I've was last there eating in Stokesby, but we have decided the lure of the Acle Bridge and hot chocolate and lasagna is just too damn strong for Rachel. She cannot go past Acle and not revisit that place and enjoy the delights of their hot chocolate and lasagna at least one more time before leaving. It really is the best lasagna ever, isn't it?
No, best hot chocolate.
And the best hot chocolate. So yeah, the ferry in at Stokesby might be good. It might be a great wee mooring. It might be some good food in there. But no, the lure of Acle's hot chocolate and lasagna is too overpowering. She wants to sample them one more time before she goes home. So yeah, that is where we're going to go. We're going to go to Acle. And it's really not going to take us any length of time at all to get there. So basically, I have set the cameras up, I have hit record, and I'm not going to stop recording. I'm just going to record the whole journey down. So I think it's going to be that short a journey. Yeah, we will just see what time we get there, which is going to be no time at all. However, there is method to this madness, you know. And the method is that we take a wee short cruise down to Acle. We have a very lazy sort of relaxing day, you know. A nice meal, a couple of pints, not too much though, you know. I'm not really in the mood for drinking tonight, I must admit. Yeah, spend a lovely evening and then just basically chilling, you know. Maybe get a wee chat with Philip, the owner, and enjoy our evening doing very little. But tomorrow, and this is the crux of it, tomorrow we're going to set the alarm uber early. We're going to set the alarm and then we're going to set off very early. And we're going to go up to Potter Heigham tomorrow, you know. And we're going to try and get to Potter Heigham about 8:30, 9 o'clock, you know. Which is supposedly about sort of low waterish, you know. We're going to have another attempt to get in at Potter Heigham, and if we can get in, if the water levels are low enough, you know, that I feel happy mooring up at the 3 moorings there without damaging the hull, we're going to moor up. Excuse me. We're going to moor up, and then we're going to go and have a wee look at Latham's and maybe get a wee cake or whatever like that for lunch. No idea what the rest of the plan is for tomorrow, but we'll have started the day early enough that we can pretty much do whatever we want. You know, if we decide to go up to Wroxham and chance the bridge, we can do that. We've got plenty of time. If we decide to go up the River Ann all the way to Sutton, we can do that. We could maybe, in theory, check out Dilham, but once again, I did mention about that low bridge, and I'm just not sure, you know. So yeah, that is the plan, and there's one reason why we're thinking it might be better to go to Acle and not Stokesby, because obviously Acle is about, what, half an hour, 45 minutes closer to Potter Heigham than Stokesby, you know. So Acle is working out kind of, you know, it's a short cruise, but we're feeling very lazy today, you know. We're not really planning on really doing much at all. We're not really in the mood for doing much at all. We overdid it slightly last night, and we ended up having way too lazy a start to the day today. So Acle is sounding just enough to get stretch our legs a wee bit on the rivers, close enough, but also close enough that it's not going to be too much of a cruise, and we don't need to make too much of an early start tomorrow to get up back up to Potter Heigham. So that is the plan. The plan is Acle, have a lazy day doing bugger all, and tomorrow have a longer cruise day, going up to Potter Heigham and then somewhere else, if we can get in at Latham's, you know. If we don't manage to get in at Latham's, all this plan is for naught. You know. And it's just like, okay, well, we tried, you know. It was an idea, it was a plan. In theory it might have worked any other time, but so be it, you know. But at least we would still get a good cruise tomorrow. So if this day turns out to be monumentally short, it might actually turn out to be your typical sort of YouTube video, i.e. 20 minutes, which would be quite surprising considering I spoke for like 13-14 minutes this morning, and I've already talked for like 8-10 minutes already. So there you go, there's all 25 minutes of me rambling rubbish to you already, and that's not including any river footage. So yeah, you might get an okay sized video after all. You know, but yeah, that is our plan for the day. You know, it's just going to be a short cruising day, and a left Thorndike there, a turned left. I have set the revs for the boat. It would usually be around about 5 miles an hour. I have not looked at the speedo, so I don't know what we're doing, but I do know the tide is rising, so we're punching against the tide, so we're probably doing about 4 miles an hour. But once again, that doesn't matter. It's going to be this type of day, you know, and it's going to be a short cruise, so why bell on down the river, you know? So we're just going to take things easy. Yeah, absolutely. In the meantime, I'm gonna go. I am seeing some sails. The first sails I have seen this year. You know, I didn't actually see anybody sailing at all in December either. So yeah, we've got our first sailing boat availing itself of the windy weather today. So I will go for now. Hopefully not crash into the sailing boat as it tacks on up the river. And I will keep you updated on the events of this very short day, you know. So yeah, as always though, I'll keep you updated. So until later, bye for now. Cheers. Okay, just a little wee update for you. That is me past that little sailing vessel. It was a wee bit unpredictable. What he was doing, he was going with the wind and he was going in a straight line. Then he decided he wanted to jig left into the reeds, and then he wanted to turn around and jig all the way to the right into the reeds on the other side. And then it looked like he was going to do a U-turn and go back down the river, but then at the last minute he turned right and came back up the river, and it just like, it was a wee bit all over the place actually, you know. Obviously just the wind and all that, you know, but yeah, got past them, no problems. The river Bure down here on the way down to Acle is very wide, and it's, you know, it's just like, you know, there's plenty of room to manoeuvre, and because it's so quiet on the rivers just now, I wasn't needing to worry about vessels coming towards me, vessels behind me, occasionally vessels trying to overtake me, you know, and it's just like yeah, so it was not a problem, you know, not a problem. Yeah, I did actually just check my speed. Obviously it's a 6 mile an hour section of river at the moment. I have set my revs, which would have been for about 5 miles an hour. I checked, and yes, I am actually only doing about 4.5 miles an hour. So yeah, I mean, I've obviously that's because the tide's coming in and I'm punching against it. I do have the choice to open up the taps a wee bit and go to 6 miles an hour, but you know something, we're just here, we're just taking the whole point of today is just taking a slow, steady, dawdling cruise. No rush, no hassle, no problems, and we're just gonna take it all easy, you know. So it's gonna be a short cruise as it is, so why open up the taps a wee bit just to do 6 miles an hour and get down there quicker, you know, and burn some fuel, you know, that you don't really need to burn, you know. So yeah, I'm just dawdling on down, taking it easy, you know, 4.5 miles an hour. That would piss off a lot of people if this was like July or something like that, because I'd probably have a whole people, look at this guy, you know, 6 miles an hour, we need to get to our destination, go, get by him, you know. But you know, actually just now, you know, it's so empty, you know. I'm not being a nuisance to anybody. I'm not, you know, and the only thing that's I really need to worry about is myself, you know, because the rivers I have the rivers to myself basically for the most part, you know. So yeah, and I am having a wee look here. I'm just approaching the Dalek mill here, and I am looking over to the right here, and I'm actually seeing the rivers have actually breached some of the key headings here, and are actually starting to flood some of the fields. So yeah, it's I think I don't know, but I think it's a spring tide tomorrow, and if I have my tides sort of correctly, you know, I could be wrong, you know. I mean, like I said, I'm just an idiot on a boat, you know. I don't really know what the hell I'm talking about, but as I understand, I think a spring tide is that time of the month stroke year, if you like, where the tides are the lowest, but the tides are also the highest. So the tide was low tide was about 8 o'clock, 8:15 this morning. We've had a lot of rain, we've had a lot of bad weather, a lot of storms, so there's already a lot of water in the Broads, which was why we couldn't get in at Potter Heigham yesterday. But if the tide's coming in, all that water, and it's going to be the highest tide, this could actually be quite interesting, you know. It may be another reason why it would be a good idea to just stop off at Acle, because their key headings are quite high above the water, so even at the highest water there'll not be any issue. It will be important, however, that I leave plenty slack in the rope, so the boat might move around a wee bit, but I'd rather the boat moved around a wee bit on a slack rope, rather than have them too tight, you know, and then that can cause all sorts of other problems as well. So we will need to sort things out. I'll need to keep an eye on the ropes as well tonight, because the tide is currently coming in. So I'm going to have to remember that later on I'll maybe check, see what time the high tide is, and whatever the ropes are doing at high tide, they should be fine at low tide. So yeah, I need to keep an eye on them, you know, because obviously the further south down the River Bure you go, the more it's important to keep an eye on your ropes and check your ropes, because the further south you go, the more the river rises and falls, you know. Away up on Nettie's Head, you know, like say up at the top of the well, about halfway up the River Ann, not really an issue, you know. The water falls a couple of inches, you know. Just now I think it's falling a few inches, but I mean it's not falling drastically, you know. Down here at Acle, it might rise and fall by, oh, I don't know, a foot, maybe 2 feet or something like that, you know. By the time you get down to Great Yarmouth, you know, this is why they've got the yacht station and the Rangers there, and when the Rangers aren't there, the yacht station's shut and you're not allowed to moor at Great Yarmouth. The tide falls incredibly, you know. I mean, honestly, you could moor up there at high tide and step down onto the quay heading, okay, from the boat, okay. Go away to Great Yarmouth, have a wee wander about, come back at low tide, and you're literally having to step on the roof of your boat in order to get down onto the boat and into it. It can fall that much at times. I've seen it. I've experienced that. You know, it can be a wee bit scary, which is why there's always the rangers there just to make sure that the boat's tied up correctly, and you've got spring lines, and there's enough slack and everything like that. So yeah, it's so yeah. Anyway, I'm babbling. I think I am approaching. Oh yes, I think I can. You know, actually, I think I've babbled that much. I think I can actually see the road bridge, the roof of the boatyard. You know, oh, what is it? It's a Bridgecraft boatyard. I think I can see the roof of the Bridgecraft boatyard just in the distance there. So yeah, it's going to be a very short day indeed. You know, but you know, just the way that this particular trip is going, actually. You know. But it doesn't make it any less enjoyable. In fact, in some ways it makes it even more enjoyable, because you're actually fully relaxing, you know, you're fully chilling, you know. Okay, you know, it would have been nice to have stretched the legs and taken Thunder down south and actually gone for like long cruises, you know, but sometimes it just doesn't happen, you know. Anyway, I'm babbling, you know, so I'll go there now, and I will keep you updated on the events of the day, so I'll speak to you soon, okay? Till then, bye for now. Cheers!
Sognerà colmi festivalea, sognerà l'esteme visalea, secolo l'idea ne survea, sognerà colmi festivalea. Sognerà me
Okay, just a little wee update for you. I have been sticking my head out the canopy. And oh my goodness, see when you do that, that wind really bites, by the way, you know? There's one reason why I'm keeping this on. But yeah, I'm stuck my head out the canopy. I've had a wee look at the binoculars, I've checked the map, and yeah, I am not very far away. Oh, excuse me, I've got the hiccups now. I'm not very far away at all from Acle Bridge, and oh well, at least Acle, I should say. Now, so yeah, I mean it's been a short cruise certainly, but quite nice. The sun is trying to come out, you know, and it's glittering away, doing that sort of thousands of diamonds sparkle like thing on the river, which is quite nice. But yeah, it's been short but nice actually, and I must admit I'm looking forward to spending another night at Acle. Although I must admit it's going to be difficult to try and choose something different than lasagna, because like Rachel, I'm not much of a hot chocolate drinker, but like Rachel, that lasagna was damn good, wasn't it? You know? Yeah, I mean it was really, really good. You know, I thoroughly enjoyed that lasagna. You know, and it's one of the. I mean, in some ways, okay, it's a wee bit like the Lion. You know, now bear with me here, okay? You know, anytime I go anywhere on the Broads, okay, north, south, Yarmouth, wherever, you know. Anytime I go out, you know, I avail myself of a pint, you know, as one does, because, you know, I mean, quite frankly, I might be an idiot on a boat, but I'm also an idiot on a boat on holiday. So, I avail myself of a pint, you know, and anytime I go anywhere, you know, I always have beer. You know, I'm not what you would call a beer connoisseur. You know, I'm not a connoisseur of much except being an idiot on a boat. You know, you know. But I avail myself of beer. You know, and I walk in, and somebody would say, "What would you like?" And the first thing I do is look at the pubs and the guest like the guest ales, I should say. And I thought, oh, I'll try a wee bit of this and I'll try a wee bit of that, and oh, right, I'll have a pint of this. You know. And that's true. No matter where I go, it's, you know, I mean, I mean, apparently gin is getting to be a big thing, and nowadays, and it's not sort of it's quite acceptable, you know, to have gin and tonics, and you know, you get all these different flavours, you know, and you know, I'm quite partial to some wine myself, you know. I love a wee white Chardonnay, you know, yeah, I mean, I also enjoy vodka, you know, and nothing beats like having a few good quality vodkas, you know. But when I come down on the Broads, it's all about pints and it's all about beer, primarily, you know. Except when I go to the Lion, you know. And this is a really weird thing. Every time I go to the Lion, I forgo the beers, you know, and it's all, for me, the Lion is all about the cider, you know. They do some awesome guest ciders, you know, and they are fantastic, you know, and they're brilliant, you know, and I absolutely love them, you know. And sometimes they've got some really nice ciders, and sometimes they've got some really weird ciders, and sometimes you've got some ciders that just think, not really sure, but it's all about the cider in the Lion, you know. And it's the only place I go to in the whole of the Broads where I walk into the place and it's just like, right, what ciders you got, you know. And I was so happy to literally have the final 1.5 pints of whiskey cask cider, because that is just the best, period, you know. Obviously I had that, you know, before dinner, finished off the whiskey cask, so there was no more at dinner time. But I ended up having some sort of strong dry cider, you know, and it was very nice. It was quite tasty, you know. But it's all about the ciders in the Lion, you know. And I'm kind of realising that even if and I have done this, I've gone back to the Lion twice. I think once I even went back to the Lion 3 times in 1 week, or in one adventure, you know. And every time I went back, it was always about the cider, you know. And if they had the same cider on that I had previously, I would still have that again. And I'm kind of realising that in some ways, Acle Bridge Inn and their lasagna is a little bit like that, you know. I go into the Bridge Inn, I look at the menu, I want to try some other, because I always try to sort of try new things and try a little bit of variety and all that, but I can't help going past the lasagna at the Bridge Inn because it is that good, you know. Honestly, you will never have a better lasagna, you know, anywhere on the Broads, you know. It is just fantastic. I think it's the new inn down at Rockland St Mary. Is it the new inn? I think it's the new inn down at Rockland St Mary. Once did a fantastic lasagna, but it was a lasagna as a special, so it's not there permanently. The Bridge Inn is part of the standard menu and it is fantastic, you know. So I'll go down there and I'll have a wee pint, you know, and I'll look at the menu and I'll have a wee think about it, but I kind of know that unless there's a special there that really takes my fancy, you know, I will most likely end up having the lasagna again tonight because it is that good, you know. Even though I had that on Saturday, I may end up having another lasagna tonight for my dinner. Anyway, that's us just approaching the 5 mile an hour zone, so we're just passing the sailing club, which means we're not very far away from the Bridge Inn at all. So as always though, I'll keep you updated. I'll stop you rambling at the moment and I'll ramble a little more just before I get to the Bridge Inn. So I'll speak to you later. Bye for now. Cheers! Okay, just a little wee update for you. And I know Rachel's just standing there shaking her head saying, my God, again, you were no long finished rambling and now you're going to go off rambling again. I don't, you know, I feel sorry for Rachel sometimes this trip, you know, and the poor wee thing has to listen to all these ramblings. Hey,
Doesn't bother me.
well, I hate to say this, Rachel, but I think I may need a little bit of assistance with this particular mooring because we are approaching Acle, and Acle means rings, so and I may need a little help holding
No.
on to. No,
Yep.
please. Can
No.
you please put a life jacket on and help?
No. No way.
Please put a life jacket on it and
What,
help me
we
with
my
my.
fellow yesterday?
So yeah, don't worry, this is going to be a very short rambling session because I now have the bridge in view. I am now approaching the bridge in. Yeah, like I say, it's been a lovely wee short cruise down the river. The sun is trying to come out. It's been dry today, which has been really good. You know, I'm so glad it's been dry. It's just a bit of a shame that the temperature's down a wee bit. There's a bit of a breeze about, but it's nowhere near as bad as it has been, so hopefully mooring up at the bridge in will be a little bit easier than it was on Saturday, you know. But yes, I'm actually looking forward to spending another evening there. Okay, we could go to Pedro's, the Mexican tapas place, but I don't think Rachel's really one for Mexican food. No. Maybe a wee bit too spicy, you know, for her, you know. So yeah, we're gonna go to the bridge in. I can see the bridge just. In fact, I can see the bridge now. Woohoo! We are here. Excellent. And that's actually been a lovely wee short cruise down the river. You know, didn't take us very long at all. And hopefully then that will sort things out for a nice short cruise very early tomorrow morning back up to Potter Heigham. So yeah, all should be good. I mean, like I say, it's a plan that we have for the next 24 hours, but whether it works or not, if it works, it's going to be worth it. It's going to be brilliant, you know. I'm going to like get up to Potter Heigham and moor up, and it's going to be like, yes, I am the god, the king of boating. I know my tides, I know my plans, you know. But in reality, we'll probably get up there, the water levels will be no different whatsoever, and it'll be like a case of, well, that was a bit of a disaster, wasn't it? Obviously not getting in. So, but hey, you know, sometimes you have to live and learn. Sometimes you have to actually figure things out and try things just to sort of gain the experience and the knowledge of whether it will or will not work, you know. I'm just passing the Pedro's moorings now actually on the right, and they're very close to the quay heading. I'm looking at the free moorings on the other side. They are actually starting to flood, so yeah, it looks like it's going to be a very high tide indeed. In fact, I wouldn't even, after my experience at trying to get in at Potter Heigham, I would not actually moor on the Pedro's, and definitely not in the free moorings, because that, like I say, that's actually flooding at the moment over the quay heading, and yeah, that's wow. So that's not good, is it? So yeah, we will get in at Acle, but because Acle's moorings are that much more over the water, you know, we'll not have any problems at mooring, assuming we get in there, because this is the thing. It might be February, but who knows what's happened once I've gone under this bridge. I might turn the corner, go under the bridge, and it'll be like, oh my god, the moorings are full, you know. And then what we're going to do? Well, we'll sort it all out. In the meantime, I'm going to go just now because I am approaching the bridge at the moment, which means that I'm going to have to start messing around with getting the boat moored up. So I will keep you updated, and I will speak to you soon. So until later, bye for now. Cheers! Okay, just a little wee update for you. I am at the Acle Bridge Inn, and I must admit it was Oh, it was actually very easy, not a problem getting in here and mooring up. A lot easier than it was on Saturday because the wind just was not that bad at all. It's a nice wee breeze, but we're getting a wee bit of shelter from the bridge in. And yeah, I mean it's really lovely, really lovely. I was a wee bit worried because the water levels looked a bit high. Turns out it was pretty much high tide, so that explains it. The tide's dropping just now because actually we've been in the bridge. Yeah, I mean, we basically what happened is that we came under the bridge after I last spoke to you. Turned around, moored up, got ourselves organised, hooked up to the electricity, and we went for a pint and a hot chocolate and have a wee look at the menu. Yeah, I mean, we were only in there for about an hour, you know, it's just knocking on like 2 o'clock just now, you know. But we basically just had sat by the fire, you know, had a wee sort of a chin wag and a chat and what have you, looked at the menu, decided that it's definitely going to be a hot chocolate and lasagna for Rachel. I'm still not sure, but it's looking like it could be lasagna for me as well tonight, you know. And yeah, basically we've come back on board. We've not eaten, we've not actually had dinner yet. We just went in, basically just a little bit of scenery and a pint. Any excuse for a pint, you know. So yeah, so we went and had a pint and a hot chocolate. Came back on board the boat. We've just got back on board the boat. We are going to chill, relax, unwind, watch a wee bit of TV, you know, a really bad film. Well, actually, we're not watching bad films this week, you know. I'm introducing Rachel to the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Oh, yeah. Now, some would say that's bad TV, you know. I say, no, it's actually quite good TV, so, and she's never seen them. So, rather than watching sort of some seriously bad science fiction movies, you know, I'm not subjecting her to that. So I'm introducing her to the Pirates of the Caribbean movies instead, and she's actually enjoying them. You know, they are what they are. You know, they're a bit sort of popcorny. You know, you just sort of sit down, disengage the brain, and just go for the ride. You know, so yeah, so we've watched a couple of them. You know, there's still a couple more to watch. So yeah, we're going to spend an afternoon just like I said this morning, it's going to be a lazy day today. You know, it's going to be a day of not really doing much at all, and it's just that type of day. And it probably was prompted by the fact that we slept so. That'll be the hooking up to the Wi-Fi and all the all the various devices, getting all the emails and all that sort of rubbish because of the Wi-Fi. But yeah, so I think today has been prompted because I should say, slept so late this morning. I'm still quite a bit gobsmacked and shocked at how late I slept this morning. Can't believe that. I was like, my God. So yeah, it was. It took me by surprise a wee bit, and it was just like, yeah. So I think today has been prompted by you know, I didn't get up when I usually would have got up, like first thing this morning, and pluttered around a wee bit, and then still had plenty of time to go and do whatever I wanted to do. When I woke up at like 10 o'clock, I was like, whoa, I bolted out, you know, and it was like, get a coffee and a go, and I was like, my God, I've like totally, I feel like I've wasted the morning, you know. So yeah, it kind of like threw me quite a bit actually. So yeah, but never mind. You know, like I say, sometimes I think every adventure I have at least one day where not a lot happens, where I don't really go anywhere or I don't really do anything, you know, and I just sort of totally and utterly chill, you know. And honestly, that water pump doesn't sound very loud, but you're probably thinking, what the hell is that noise? You know, it's not very loud, but the microphone, I suspect, will be really picking that up. But yes, anyway, I digress. So I think it was today has just been prompted by the fact that we had such a late start to the day, you know. And then that whole sort of, well, let's have a wee think about the tides and what are they going to do, you know, and can we still get up to Potter Heigham, and if we can, you know, when would be the best time to go to Potter Heigham, and you know, so the tide is currently falling. I'm keeping an eye on what I can see of the free moorings through the bridge, so we'll wait and see what happens with the tides, and if they sufficiently drop quite a bit, maybe that will be, oh, yeah, I've gone a wee bit dark there. Okay, maybe they will drop enough for me to get in at Potter Heigham. It might work, it might not, but if you don't try it, you won't know. So the theory is sound, you know, the theory is very sound, and I think if we're gonna do it, we're in for a very good chance of getting in at Potter Heigham at low water. But once again, theory and reality, or practicality if you like, that's something else. But you gotta try it. You gotta try it just to see if that will indeed be the case or not. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So yeah. I don't know if I will be back. I know it's been a very, very short day. I don't know if I will be back after dinner. But if there is anything more, oh Christ, you know, sorry. I just realised, you know, you're going all dark there, you know. I don't know if I will be back. I don't know if there'll be anything more to update you with during the day. But if there is more, I will be back. If not, I will say this is the end of day 5. It's been a short day. It's not short cruise. Not a lot has been happening, but I've still enjoyed it nonetheless. And I'm actually looking forward to just sort of chilling, relaxing on one. I'm looking forward to the lasagna, you know. Now I personally have not made a firm decision on lasagna for tonight, but I am actually very, very tempted about that. You know, so yeah, I will have to wait and see how the day goes. But if anything does happen, if I do have more to update you with, I will be back. If not, this is the end of day 5. I know it's been a short one. I hope you've enjoyed it nonetheless. Yeah, I will see you tomorrow at day 6, and we will see if the theory and the plans actually work out. It's going to be quite a long day tomorrow, whatever we do. And I'm quite looking forward to actually getting a good proper cruise about some of the rivers, whether we get in at Potter Heigham or not. You know, it's going to be quite a good day, so I am looking forward to that. So yeah, in the meantime, I'm going to go away. Rachel, crew member, cat lady, just over there, has just made myself a coffee. I think she made a coffee. Yes, she did. She made a coffee. You know, so I'm going to go away.
I never make a coffee.
You do make coffees occasionally. So yeah, I'm gonna go away, have a coffee, chill for a few hours, and then head out for dinner. So if you have been watching, thanks. I might be back, I might not be, but I'll keep you updated. And until then, I'll maybe see you tomorrow or see you later. So until I've got something more to update you with, whether it is later or whether it is tomorrow, I'll speak to you later. So until then, bye for now. Cheers!